Hey guys, this is Kelly with City Slickers Homesteaders. So today I wanted to do kind of a different video. I don't know why. I felt like, I guess the universe kind of put this idea in my head in a way. I just dropped my kids off at their dad's. It's Sunday night, so I'll put this video up probably Monday morning. But I know there's been a lot of talk with social media and the news and stuff, a lot about mental illnesses, especially some of the mass shootings and a lot of the natural disasters, you know, everything like that. So I just kind of wanted to come on here to talk about, you know, depression and anxiety, because I personally deal with both. I have for years, and so I do know firsthand how hard it is to admit to yourself that you have something like that, let alone admit it to anyone else, even a doctor, professional, anything like that. So I kind of felt compelled just to come out and speak about, you know, what I've learned from it, what has helped me cope, just to help anybody out there that may be going through the same thing. You know, I am a mom, I work, I do this, I do a garden, so I do have a full plate. So, you know, depression and anxiety are real. Postpartum is real. You know, it's hard to say that you have a mental illness, but that's really, I mean, it's really what it is. Yeah, it's a chemical imbalance, but I almost feel like there's almost like a trigger, I guess, that can initiate it or bring it out in a lot of people. It can be anything, you know, just stress, a traumatic incident, a loss, abuse, you know, whether it's mental, physical, any type of that, you know, can bring it out. So a lot of people may not realize that, you know, the feelings that they have could be anxiety and depression, or just one or the other. I mean, they don't always go hand in hand. I actually never had issues with anxiety until probably 8 or 9 years ago. I had depression all through high school, you know, until now. I still have it. I learned to handle it without medication for a while, but I also know when I get to the point to where I can't handle it anymore. I won't go into detail, but there was one instance I was done. You know, I'm glad, obviously, that didn't go into completion. I got the help that I needed, got the medication I needed to help, but I was able to get weaned off of those medications, and I learned how to handle it. You know, I would have bad days, bad weeks, you know, especially during the winter. They always talk about, you know, the winter blues, cabin fever. That stuff's real. It really is, especially if you already have, you know, underlying depression. That stuff's real. It happens. But when, you know, you get to the point that you can't handle it anymore. I just recently, almost a year ago, had to get put back on antidepressants and anxiety medicine due to it got to the point between, you know, a lot of personal things that was going on with the family, stress, and just, you know, just trying to keep up with things, you know, like most moms do, you know, working moms, at-home moms, whoever. You have a lot on your plate. You do. You know, same thing, I can't just say moms, because dads do too, you know, single dads, married dads, whatever. I mean, everybody has a lot on their plate. You know, I don't mean to make this, like, specific for a certain category. It's not. Everybody, you know, has a lot to deal with, one time or another, or all the time. But it's something that you have to know when it's time to be like, okay, enough's enough. I can't do it on my own anymore. Either by going to, get counseling, psychologist, psychiatry, anything like that, or, getting on medication if talking doesn't help. Definitely always reach out to your family and friends if able to. They were my supporters, through my rough times. My husband has always been my rock, I will say. He was the one that noticed it was getting to the point to where I couldn't just manage it on my own anymore. And he, was like, you might need to go to the doctor. And I put it off, and I got to the point, when I was getting to the point, I was having anxiety attacks at work, having anxiety attacks at home. I was like, okay. I just went and did it. I luckily have a doctor that I've been seeing since I was in middle school, so she knew, everything that had been going on, so she was able to set me up with some great medication. I did go to a therapist, but for me personally, when I was talking to her, like, I already knew my triggers for my anxiety. I know what I need to do. So for me, counseling did not help, but I do have friends that go to a counselor on a regular basis, monthly, every couple weeks, whatever it may be, because it does help them. For them, it helps to talk it out. I can talk things out with my husband, so I'm able to do that. But I do have some friends that go to a counselor because talking it out for them does help. Like I said, I can talk to my husband, so I don't need to pay anybody to go to talk to, basically. But I guess the main reason I felt compelled to do this today was you shouldn't feel alone. You're never alone. Whether you just talk to a doctor, a counselor, friends, family, your spouse, your significant other, whoever it may be. Like, if you feel like things are getting too much to handle, talk to somebody. Don't think that you can do everything on your own. I was like that, I felt like, I could work, take care of the kids, do all the running for sports, and still come home and, like, clean the house, do dinner every day. And my husband would always tell me, like, no, I can help, I can do this, this, and this. And I almost felt like I was putting too much burden on him, because he does work 10-hour days. He works 50 hours a week. So for me, I felt bad. But once I kind of started letting go of some of that control, that did help alleviate some of the stress. So, I mean, if it's even something little like that, don't be afraid to let go of the reins on something that you can have somebody help. Don't be so prideful that you can't ask for help. I mean, if you just explain, just tell somebody, like, I'm overwhelmed, I need some help with this. 99% of the time, they're going to help you. Not everybody's situation's the same. But, I mean, family, friends, that's what they're there for. They're there to be a support system, to lean on. That's probably your best first step. And I just kind of want to put that out there, because I know when I kind of first started having really bad issues with my anxiety, like, I was afraid to talk to people about it. Even my coworkers would notice, like, what's wrong with you? you're not acting yourself. Because I'm the type that, yeah, I battle depression, I battle anxiety, but I still have a smile on my face. You know, I've just always been that person. I always have a smile, whether it's real or fake, unfortunately, but I always have a smile. I always try to look to the, you know, the brighter end of everything. But there's just some days where it's harder to do that. It's hard to make yourself get up. It's hard to make yourself just do regular tasks, even like just make yourself something to eat, start a load of laundry. It's hard to do those things. Don't be afraid to ask for help if you notice it gets to be to that point. I mean, I'm trying to think of what else to kind of say about it. I mean, I guess my biggest thing is you're never alone. You know, a lot of people feel like they're alone. I've felt like that, you know. I was in a bad place, kind of in between, you know, when I started going through my divorce and before me and my husband now really got together and really started being serious. It's hard. It really is. And I guess I kind of wanted to put it out there that I am here if anybody needs a soundboard. I'll leave my personal email address in the comments, just for anyone that feels like they need some advice or just need to talk, just anything. Because once you do start talking to people, you know, and I'm not saying like complete strangers, but just, you know, if you have a really close friend or if you're close with your parents or grandparents or whatever, you know, it's funny, you know, because when you do talk about it, you find out that they've went through those struggles or are going through those struggles. And a lot of times, sorry, I got like flies flying around the outside. A lot of times you'll find out that they went through that, and you can find out how they were able to deal with it and get through those struggles. So, but like I said, I've went through a lot in my life. I won't go into a lot of detail because a lot of it's personal, but I just kind of wanted to throw this out there to you guys. So I'll leave my personal email address if you feel like you really need somebody to talk to who's been through it. Definitely shoot me an email. I will definitely get back to you as soon as I can. If you want to share this to somebody that you know is struggling, but they don't feel like opening up, you can share this with them. Maybe make them feel a little bit better that they're not alone. So I'll go ahead and end this here. I don't want to make this a really long video, but I just kind of want to throw that out there, because at least if I make one person feel better or feel like they're not alone, you know, that's really what I want to do here. So I will talk to you guys later.